Yep.
What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Fear the Hive 1155. I am your host, Dom, and this is Steven, my illustrious and partner in pontification.
Did you workshop that?
No, I didn't. That was actually off the top of the head.
That was off the top of the head?
Yeah, man.
2 points for Dominic.
Should have been a rapper.
You should not have been a rapper. We know what has happened to rappers over the last 90 days. So clearly, probably should. Hey, you hear what happened to Rick Ross?
Man, we're already starting. All right. No.
I'm just asking. You said rappers. Rick Ross got like jumped in Canada or something. He was at a concert. He tried to play Not Like Us, and things got real, contentious and stuff. Anyhow,
absolutely stupid.
Forget about all of that. Hey guys, how y'all doing?
What is going on, man? It feels like I haven't seen y'all in a week, man. That's what it feels like. I ain't seen y'all in a week.
Deadpan?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Oh,
it has been a minute. And some things have happened. And we got to catch up. All right. So everybody knows we've been doing this for a minute. We are now finally polishing this thing off. And so we got a couple categories that we try to stay in to make sure that everybody knows where we're going. But I need to know, Dominique, what has happened in Dominique's world since we last spoke? Because I know of one important, monumental thing that has happened.
Yeah. So, my wife got me a grill, a pellet grill. Actually, the pellet grill.
Whoa! Don't be like she got me a pellet grill. Like she bought you this.
I was getting
400 square foot Maker's Mark pellet grill.
Actually, it's a 1,000 square inch.
More than that. It's like 1267 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it is the grill that I wanted. I heard something the other day where, when you get to like mid to late 30s, you either learn more about World War II history or you start smoking meats. And apparently I took the smoking meats route because my wife, she got me the Pit Boss Austin XL.
Austin XL.
Yeah, man, that thing is nice too. It's almost like one of my kids at this point.
For those of you that are not familiar, this is over 1,000 square feet of grilling. This is
square inches.
Square inches. Might as well be square feet as big as this freaking thing is. It's got multiple racks. You could smoke, I think, smoke like 6 to 8 racks of ribs.
8 racks of ribs at once. I was like, yes,
bro. Oh my gosh.
Hold on. I'm bringing it up now.
Not only does it smoke, but it does flame broil or sear. Like This is the quintessential I be smoking meats grill. Now, I would venture to say that Dominique in about 4 years is going to venture off, and he's probably going to upgrade. But for right now,
I don't know. This is it for me. Like, man, Dominique, as somebody who's had those Weber, the little Walmart special Weber grills and whatnot.
Wow.
This is definitely a major step up, and part of me has even thought about doing like some videos, like YouTube videos, like cooking. So 55 burgers, 7 chickens, or 8 racks of ribs.
Yeah, that's how they sold me the one that I had to. Start rattling off numbers. I was like,
hey, you know what? I could cook 8 racks of ribs.
Who has 1,000 square inches?
Yeah, hey, why not?
Oh, but yeah,
this thing is awesome, man. I did the first burn off on it yesterday.
How'd that go? How did it? Wait, hold on. Now, how did it go? How did it feel?
Felt great. I was just sitting in the backyard. I had a drink in my hand. I was just chilling, like
watching the smoke bellow up.
Yes. So it was to a point to where I almost ran to the store really quickly just to grab something to just toss on it. That's
Here's
how.
the thing.
That's
You
how
should have
bad I
done it.
want.
Indulge yourself. Should have done it. Should have done it.
It's true. But and it came right in time. July 4th is 2 days away.
What are you grilling? Tell us what you're. I know you're grilling something. What are you?
I'm definitely. Look, my wife bought me the grill, and we were walking through the store, and she was like, "So now that you have your grill, you're in charge of 4th of July. What do you mean?" She's like, "You got to get your menu together." I was like, "Man, that was quick." Okay, but
hey, look, go ahead and get your apron. Go get your gloves. And your custom utensils. Go do it all. Do the thing.
That's already in the Amazon cart. I'm ordering that tomorrow.
Yes, sir. It ain't gonna get here for the 4th though. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, you know what? Let me order it tonight.
Thank you. But I was thinking, you said in the cart. No. We cannot have.
Yeah, you
gotta have a full 4th, baby. Go ahead.
Yeah,
while we're yakking it up, go ahead. Boop boop. Get that thing sent over.
Yep, tomorrow at 10 a.m. Tomorrow. Yep, there it is.
There you go. For most people that don't know, so Pit Boss is a pellet grill. It is not a wood chip grill smoker. It was not a wood chip smoker like some people use. Now, wood chip smokers, they're in a class of their own. They are much closer to being professionals than us amateurs. When I say us amateurs, I'm talking about me and Dominique at the moment. However, to have the same kind of effect and flavor without the whole wood situation, this is as close as you can get. Like this is the generic of a Traeger. If you know anything about smokers, Traeger is mid to high level. Like it's been hailed as one of the best smokers ever created for mass consumption. And so, you know what I love to do, Dominique?
What's that?
Right. So I cheat. Right. So before I put whatever I'm gonna grill, clean off my grill, get everything ready. I lay it on the grill before I turn it on. Now you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to preheat, right?
Right.
I don't. You want to know why?
Because you don't want it to take so long to heat up.
No. Because if you vacuum out the soot in your pellet bowl, right, that turns in the pellet bowl that creates the flame, right?
Right.
If you vacuum out the soot and you put some pellets in to start it, that initial smoke catches.
And then, I see what you're saying.
See, that's the thing. Most people, when they'll preheat and they miss the initial smoke, I like the initial smoke because I've gotten all of the ash out first.
Right.
And so it changes everything, especially if you're doing quick cooks, right? And I'm talking about quick cooks less than 4 hours, right? So how big is your hopper?
30 pounds.
Good God.
Yeah, I bought a 40-pound bag, and that's supposed to last me
a 40-pound. Wait a minute,
30 hours worth of cooking.
Yeah, just about. Well, it's really dependent upon your temperature, but yeah. What flavor did you get?
Competition, which is a mix of all of them.
Yeah, did you get my text message? I sent you a text message. Start with competition blend and then venture out. Because I started with Apple and then I went to competition. I was like, oh, I see why they name it competition blend now. It's where you really want to start off.
Yeah.
Did you get the Pit Boss seasonings to go with it?
No, not yet. That's next. I gotta pick up the meat. So what I'm cooking are 2 racks of ribs, 1 bone-in pork shoulder, chicken wings, and steaks, of course.
What kind of steaks?
I got to see. I'm one of those people where I'll walk into a store and I'll let it come to me, like depending on what kind of steaks I'll get. Definitely T-bone for the adults, but maybe some sirloin or top round or something along those lines for the kiddos. Something that's they don't like bones. They don't like dealing with that.
Gotta teach them. But yeah, Big JJ is right. It does give you the right amount of char. It is it's a very fine instrument of you know what I cooked on there the other day? I've cooked eggs, right? Fluffy eggs, really, really good, really smoky. I cooked sausage.
No turkey legs.
No, fluffy eggs, not turkey legs.
No,
turkey legs as well.
Yeah, no. Jason was talking about no turkey. He was asking no turkey legs.
I've done turkey legs before. They're like brisket, right? Brisket is a challenging situation because we like it moist.
I'm sorry, Big JJ, not little JJ.
Not little. Wow. What else I did? Oh, vegetables on there are great too. Anyhow,
That's
how do we
fair.
get down this rabbit hole?
That's fair. Now, the only other thing to catch everybody up on is I am on my gaming PC today because my MacBook's ribbon cable decided to die.
I'm sorry, say again.
My MacBook's ribbon cable decided to die on me.
I'm sorry. Let me see. English, please. English for people that don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's this little strip that connects the bottom of the laptop to the top of the laptop.
There you go. Now, I actually knew what you're talking about, but I knew most people don't. So,
Yeah.
how'd that happen?
I don't know.
Those are great, by the way. Those are great.
Yeah. So essentially, these gloves are the cotton gloves that are heat resistant, and then
Yes.
the nitrile gloves the black ones go over them, so I can just reach in there, grab the stuff.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And no, Sherelle Howard, no tomahawk steaks.
Ooh, jeez. Hey, what's up?
Oh man, but yeah, glad to hear you got the. I'm glad to hear your wife gave you an amazing gift. You know, as our wives are wont to do. They generally come with amazing gifts. And
Sure.
I'm looking forward. We're all looking forward to your pictures from 4th of July. That's for sure. Because I want to see how it turned out. I know how it's going to taste because I know what you're.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I know your pellets. I know how it's going to taste. So I just want to see how it looks. So, but yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's amazing. That's great. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
But yeah, my ribbon cable, I gotta go get it fixed. That's luckily that's one of the things that happens actually pretty normally because of the nature of opening and closing a laptop.
Yeah.
And this laptop is 4 years old, so I just wasn't expecting it.
You know what is screaming, right?
What?
Replace me.
Look, I'm trying to resist that urge. I'm trying to wait till at least later on in the year because
the sales are happening right now. They're happening right now, Dominic. They're happening right now.
I want an M3 for lower price.
Yeah.
So M4s are coming out later this year, so that I can go snag an M3.
Yep, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Dominic got a grill.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey Dominic, you've been following the news
here and there. Yeah. I have, and I'm slightly disappointed in what's possible to come. Two things actually.
Go on.
One, the presidential debate was not all that great, and before anybody says, "Oh, he must be a Democrat," I don't care for either choice. To be honest with you, I don't care for the left or the right. They're both weird. I really want a third option, but unfortunately, the way our system is set up, it will not accommodate a third option. So that's neither here nor there. But then the other thing, and honestly, the most interesting of the events that's going on in Capitol Hill is that President Trump was what was it? It was a hearing or something along those lines, but essentially he's immune to certain the Supreme Court justice ruled that he's immune to certain acts as president, which I get kind of, but I think Trump was trying to make the case that because I'm president, I'm immune to everything.
Okay, so let's back up. Let's because you did two things. You talked about the debate and then you talked about the Supreme Court ruling, right?
Yep.
So the debate, yes, the debate was tragic, completely tragic, right? We're watching an invalid and a very old man debate. Okay, right? Invalid being Trump, very old man being Biden, debating, watching the debate, and any other time that debate would have yelled to me, "We need to do something different," right?
Right.
Because I get it. People have their misgivings about Biden and his age, but here's the thing: it doesn't matter as much as we think it does, right? Not being the president of the United States with a functioning cabinet doesn't matter as much as we think it does, right? If it did, then what was it? Dwight Eisenhower that couldn't walk, or John F. Kennedy that had a debilitating headache disease, like he had migraines that were really horrible, and another disease. Like if it really mattered that much, then we wouldn't have those stories to tell with those accomplishments. However,
How?
As tragic as that was, the Supreme Court rulings were even worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were even worse. I don't know how you get worse than that debate, but they were infinitely worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So the first one that you talked about, we're calling it the immunity ruling, right? So the Supreme Court ruled that the president, not President Trump, but that the president,
Right.
acting in official duties, on
Capacity.
official duties, in official capacity as president, is pretty much immune, right?
As long
Now,
as it's within the powers of or the directive of the presidency.
No. They didn't specify. That's the thing. That's the thing. Because of the way that the ruling was presented, as long as what he's doing, he's acting in the office of the president,
Mm-hmm.
then he's immune. Let me give you an example.
Jesus Christ.
If he had ordered his Secret Service detail to clear a way for the January 6th protesters to get into Capitol, into the Congress,
Mm-hmm.
to secure their proceedings, that would have been, he would have been immune from prosecution for that as the president.
Of course.
Right. If he decided to order a drone strike as the president against what he considered or classified as an enemy combatant, even in the United States, immune from prosecution. Like, this is bad on so many levels. There's so many hypotheticals. There's so many possibilities of functioning as the president that could be done to, like, stop the presidency from ever transferring again. That's why it's so bad. Matter of fact, I believe it was Justice Sotomayor that said that this is the beginning. Like, she had a sequence of hypotheticals to which she said that the ruling declared the president immune, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were completely crazy hypotheticals, but completely something that we could see happening.
Well,
it was really big.
And looking at this article here, you know, if somebody asks, why does the president need this immunity? Now, to some degree, I do understand. But so the reasoning is so that he can act boldly as president and take actions without fear of later prosecution, clouding his judgment according to the court. And yeah. But then what does it say? What does the Constitution say about this? If you want to, you know, get technical. And to be fair, the founding fathers never thought that this would be a thing. So they never really included it, really. But it says, what does it say about it? Nothing, but that's no problem. And it says, true that there is no presidential immunity clause in the Constitution, but there is no separation of powers clause either. Yet the doctrine is undoubtedly carved into the Constitution's text by its 3 articles separating powers and vesting the executive power solely in the president.
Let's be very clear. All of what we just read and all of what we've known of the presidency and all of what the Supreme Court has ruled up until this point has been under the assumption that we are all participating in the social contract that is the fabric of the United States, country over person, country over party.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what all of those rulings are made under, right? Country over party, country over everything. Like you, but that's not the game anymore.
Right.
That is not the game, right? It's not the game. It wasn't the game. It hasn't been the game for a long time. But the acceleration and the flagrancy of the actions to show us that they're not. These people are no longer playing, right?
Nope.
We should have known. We should have known this when they prevented Merrick Garland from getting a vote as Supreme Court justice, right? We should have known that the game changed at that moment, never to be the same. Okay.
Yeah, they're changing the rules as we go.
And what we have to do is be aware that the rules have changed, and we have to act accordingly, right? Like, we have to understand that. And I know people don't like the fact that Joe Biden is running, but you need to get over it. Let me tell you why you need to get over it. You're not voting just for Joe Biden. I've been trying to convince people for the last 2 years, you're voting for the very nature, the very fabric of the nation.
Yeah.
Because if reasonable men are not in the presidency, then what we just read about the clauses for the clauses that give the president immunity mean that a president does not ever have to leave.
Yeah, and this excerpt from the article is, so the Supreme Court gave Trump everything he wanted. It certainly embraced Trump's theory of immunity and pretty much guaranteed the trial will not happen before the election. Although the majority says they were restrained since they rejected his request to completely dismiss the case.
They don't have to completely dismiss the case, right? So you want to smoke and mirrors. All you have to do is injure the case enough so that the case at trial fails. And what they did in ruling the way that they did was they meant that the prosecutors, the Department of Justice, have to go back and rewrite the case, taking out everything that this particular ruling pertained to. And then at that point, they can refile or adjust the case itself, adjust the indictment itself, and go forward with that whittled down, or with these whittled down charges and or evidence.
Which also means that it's going to take time.
Well, it's going to take time, and they're probably going to have it ready again before the election, but that means the trial is not going to start. That's number one. Number two, also hidden in the ruling is that you can't even use what a president did in his official capacity as evidence in a personal criminal matter.
Mm-hmm.
So when Stormy Daniels was paid off and Trump got convicted in New York for fraud and for the 43 indictment, the 43 counts, right? That just happened last month. That might even be thrown out simply because the evidence for that, much of it was made while he was president, and it cannot be used in a personal criminal trial.
So here's a statement from Sotomayor. They asked, how far does Sotomayor say presidents can now go? She said, well, essentially as far as they want. And she says, quote, the president of the United States is the most powerful person in the country and possibly the world. When he uses his official powers in any way under the majority's reasoning, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. Let's say he orders the Navy SEALs Team 6 to assassinate a political rival. Immune. Organizes a military coup to hold on to power. Immune. Takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon. Immune. Even if these nightmare scenarios never play out, and I pray they never do, the damage has been done. The relationship between the president and the people he serves has shifted irrevocably. Yeah, there we go. In every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law. Moving forward, however, all former presidents will be cloaked in such immunity. If the occupant of that office misuses official power for personal gain, the criminal law that the rest of us must abide will not provide a backstop.
So here's the crazy part, right? President Richard Nixon, who we all know resigned instead of being indicted as a sitting president for breaking into the Democratic National Convention's hotel rooms to steal documents, right? Mm-hmm. Right. For those of you that don't know, that's the reason why Nixon resigned as president, right? He ordered someone to break into a political rival's headquarters and steal documents, and those people got caught, and it was linked back to him. Nixon said something akin to, when the president does it, it's not a crime. Okay. This is back in the 1960s. President does it, it's not a crime. Now, he was citing an interpretation of the Constitution, which has been held by lots of people over the years, right? Mm-hmm. If you know anything about Dick Cheney, that's a part of his ethos, like it's a part of what makes him him. Mm-hmm. The believing in the right and pushing forward the rights of the president above any other rights, right? That thought, that legal theory, which was only a legal theory, right, has now been enshrined in law that is referenceable by a Supreme Court ruling, not enshrined in law, but is referenceable by a Supreme Court ruling. This is horrible.
Yeah.
The only way to change this, as my father says, is to pack the court. We need 4 liberal-minded justices. We need to vote in staggering numbers, get the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we need to add 4 justices. Period. And people will go, well, Republicans haven't done that. They already have. They already have done it.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of what should we do. We all know what we should do. The question is, are we going to get off of our behinds and do it, or are we going to get past the fact that Joe Biden is old and actually do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we can't.
And as Sherelle says, this is extremely scary because I guarantee you, had this been a thing before Trump left office the first time, he'd probably still be there.
You want to hear something scary?
What's that?
This is just my mind cooking up. If I was the president and I was of the mindset of Trump, you know what I would do?
What?
Right? Knowing that the protesters were sent there to stop the certification of the votes, knowing that I played a part in it, but knowing they can't prosecute me, you know what I would do?
Authorize it.
I would declare martial law. Until such time as the certification can be done safely. And then in between the time, in between the time that I declared martial law and the time that I deemed that the certification can be done correctly, I would have arranged for fake electors like they actually did do and made sure that they got in.
Yep.
So that when it was certified as
I won anyway.
Exactly. and as president, because once you declare martial law and until election is certified, there's no transfer of power.
Yeah.
Until that happens, he's still the president, and you can't prosecute him for it now.
Yeah, you're either going to say I won anyway, or I don't know, they're still working on it.
There's or the election was rigged. The election was rigged. We got to do it over. Or we need to do an audit in Georgia. And you know who the governor in Georgia is, just like they did. Remember when they called Florida for Trump? They called Florida for Trump before all of the votes were counted. All of the votes that they had received were counted, particularly in counties that were majority Black and brown. Right? It is estimated that only 50,000 votes separated the totals between Trump and Hillary winning Florida. I know it sounds tinfoil hat kind of situation.
I would say like 2 presidents ago, yes, this would sound absolutely crazy. Like, why would anybody do that? But after what we've seen in his last presidency and the way he acted and the way he reacts just in general, it's a very real thing at this point. Like everything that you thought wouldn't happen, it very well can.
You gotta throw that out the window. Like you can't assume we're not playing by the same rules. This is not 2004, 2002, 2008, 1996. It's none of those. This isn't George H.W. Bush losing the election and conceding. No, it's none of that. So for me, I'm a little hyped. Let me calm down.
No, don't calm down yet.
I don't like conversations. I don't like participating in Joe Biden old conversations because it makes people consider the idea of not voting because they don't like the choices. And the choices are not Donald Trump and Joe Biden. The choices are Donald Trump or America. Them the only 2 choices. Because I can guarantee you this: Donald Trump is president ever again.
That's it.
That may be the only president that we see
until.
I mean, he's only gonna live another 12 years, maybe.
Yeah, but he can do a lot of damage in those 12 years.
Think about it. So
you're right. I mean, and it sucks because it's like, you like I said, you may not like Biden, but at least he's not gonna. But the funny thing is, you have some people who are wanting Trump to overturn all of this and undo all of this, and it's like, dude, you do realize this is the beginning of society breaking down, right? Like if he does this, society will break down.
Tony, what's my favorite phrase? There's whiteness does not care about the Constitution. Whiteness. I didn't say white people. I said whiteness. It only
Uncle
cares
Joe does have some health problems, but at least his backup.
Well, I mean, you act like Trump is the spin issue of health as well. Let's be clear. They both, in the best of all worlds, we wouldn't have either one of them to vote for.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
but also, has anybody ever seen the Boondocks? Please let us know in the comments if you've ever seen the Boondocks. Stinkmeaner lived, even though his physical body died, his spirit still lived forever. And it's just something about hurt, hateful people. They live forever.
Mm-hmm.
So the estimated 12 years that we're putting on this on him now, he could very well live another 20.
All right, one more SCOTUS thing before we go. I gotta get this off my chest too. So when you get time, Google SCOTUS Chevron ruling. SCOTUS
man, that sounds
Chevron
like a top secret organization.
No. Chevron, like the oil company Chevron. SCOTUS being the Supreme Court of the United States. There was another ruling, right? The rulings they're coming back to back, and they're all bad, and they're all split down partisan lines for the vast majority of them. So the Chevron ruling. Most people don't know how government works, right? Congress makes a law,
God knows that,
and then the enforcement of the law generally happens because of the interpretation of people that head agencies that are staffed and filled by the administration. Okay, let's say, for instance, I'm the head of Housing and Urban Development, otherwise known as HUD. Okay,
Ben Carson.
Ben.
I do that in jest.
Congress makes a law that says that everyone that's eligible for food stamps is eligible for Section 8 housing, right?
Okay.
They make a law that says that. Okay. If I'm the director of HUD, my staff gets to interpret that law and how it is enacted for everyone in the United States. Okay. Right. That's how it has been for as long as America has been America. Well, maybe not that long, maybe since the 1900s, right? Because you need to have career professionals, specialists in these fields that know these things to execute, right, these laws, to make them so that they affect in the ways that they're supposed to the citizenry of the United States. The Chevron ruling was a ruling that said that these agencies are no longer able to interpret the laws that Congress writes. Not only that the Supreme Court itself will be the determiner of the interpretation of the laws.
Oh, that's great.
Now, if you don't know, Republicans are always talking about we hate big government because government intrudes on our lives, and their goal,
big government.
Their goal is to reduce the size of the government. Now, they don't really mean reduce the size of the government. They mean reduce the size of the institutions that have power and that make decisions within the United States. Okay. And this has been a part of their plan to reduce the size and the authority of institutions that interpret and execute the laws of the United States, right? That this is a part of their plan. But in doing so, they just made it so that any corporate, do you want to know why your gas company, you're in Charlotte, you want to know why Duke Energy had to pay a fine because of that coal ash? Do you remember the coal ash?
Yes.
Okay, coal ash. When Duke Energy dumped a bunch of coal ash, it seeped into the water system. They had to dig it up. They had to repackage it. They had to send it to a waste facility. They had to pay the county. They had to pay the state. They had to pay those that were affected. You want to know why that happened? Because the EPA ruled that the coal ash was not legal. Them disposing of it that way was not legal.
And the EPA is the Environment Protection Agency.
It is an agency of the government, Environmental Protection Agency. It is headed by someone that is voted on by Congress, that is designated by the administration, right? Whatever administration is in power. And so they had to dig it up, and they had to compensate those people that were affected. What Chevron says is that the EPA no longer has the power to do that, which means that if Duke Energy wants to put coal ash back in the ground in the back of your house on land that is eminently domained into their possession, then they can do that, and there's nothing that you can do about it. If Ford wants to take seat belts out of its cars to cut costs, right? Then the National Tire Safety Board or whatever
NHTSA, National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration,
they can do nothing about it, right? If Volkswagen again decides that they want to juke the numbers and tell you that your VW Jetta gets 38 miles to the gallon when it only gets 18, can't do anything about it. Like when we say the game has changed, that we need to vote, that we need to pack the court, this is why.
Right.
Like this is major stuff. Okay, enough with the sad stuff.
That's crazy. But I mean, I will say, hey, I do know that South America, Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica, they're giving out citizenship to African Americans. So let's just pick a country and let's go.
Hey man, I get my passport in August, and I'm buying a refundable plane ticket for all 5 of my family members for the first week in January.
Oh yeah. Just go ahead and just get out the country.
Hey man, hey.
While you still can.
hey, a refundable plane ticket. That way, if none of this happens, I can just take the tickets and go someplace else, right? But yeah, no, man, yeah.
And then on top of that, it's just as the man of the house, this is another thing. It's like, well, you know what? If you're a black man and you want to protect your family, I'm not saying this is the only way to protect them, but I'm just saying it's an avenue. If you have not already gotten your concealed carry license, this is probably a good time to just go ahead and just get it done. I'm not wishing anything bad on anybody. I'm just saying let's just be prepared preemptively. Because this country's diminishing at a rather rapid rate, at which I was not expecting. And yeah, this is, being as a kid, you're like, I'm gonna be an adult, I'm gonna vote, I'm gonna raise my kids, white picket fence, house, 2 cars, good jobs. This was not part of that. This was not part of that vision.
So you want to hear something? You want to hear some really crazy tinfoil hat stuff?
What?
I found out that it is possible for you to ride a jet ski from Miami to the Bahamas. To do so, you need to tie 5 gas cans to the back of your jet ski so that you can make the trip. It is 160 nautical miles, which should take you about 4 hours. Okay, a jet ski can hold 2 to 3 people, depending upon how large they are. You put your kid in front of you and you drive. Listen, man. Listen. I'm not saying I'm a kook. What I am saying though is, if you've never thought about, what it means to live during the apocalypse, then you're not prepared for it. That's all I'm saying.
This is true.
That's all I'm saying. And yes, concealed carry. Hey, Jason, I live in Texas now. Guess what? We don't need to carry. Matter of fact, there's a gun show this weekend. Guess who's going?
Yeah, but I mean, but I've always said there's no reason. I think if you're able to qualify for a concealed carry license, you should just go ahead and get it, because there's no reason to truly open carry. At least as a black man, for me, I don't see the point in open carrying, because to me, it's either, yes, in some situations it does deter people from doing anything weird, but also at the same time, it also could make you a target.
It invites conflict. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but you live in North Carolina. So I live in Texas. Guess what they do a lot in Texas?
Walking around with guns on their hip.
on their hips, on their thighs, on their knees. Dude, I went to the courthouse like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, to get into the courthouse, they got 3 levels of detectors before you can get to the courthouse. Not just a metal detector. We talking about 2 sets of metal detectors, 2 sets of people with wands before you can even get to and they do everyone. Lawyers, judges, they all get wanded. I'm serious. I was like, why is this line so long? What's taking me so long to get to the courthouse? Because they were wanding everybody.
Yeah.
It's not a game.
Which is good. But yeah, JJ, we were saying the same thing. It's just like, to me, it would make you a target. Like if I'm somebody that's going to do something malicious and I see that, it's like, okay, I need to take out that person first.
Yeah. But hey, man, make sure you are prepared to protect yourself and to evade danger at all times. There you go.
You know what? I'm going to see if I can get some a CCW professional on the show to talk.
I got one. My cousin is a licensed firearm instructor.
Oh well, we need to do that.
I'll see if he has time. He's in Louisiana, but yeah, I'll see if I can get him on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So yeah.
Cool.
Anyhow, okay. Enough of the depressing stuff. Did you see House of the Dragon? This is hard turn left.
Did I see House of the Dragon, dude? Yes, I saw House of the Dragon.
Okay, give me your thoughts.
This is part of our "Are you not entertained?" section.
Are you not entertained? I'm very entertained,
dude. So this is funny because as viewers, we all knew.
Wait. Spoiler alert.
Oh yes, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, turn off now. Turn off now.
When I do like this, you can come back.
Yeah, or mute us, do whatever.
But yeah,
this was the revelation of, oh crap. I really want to say, but hey.
Okay, can we do it without the spoilers? I think we can do it without the spoilers.
Well, technically, as the audience, we already knew what these two just found, or what Rhaenyra just found out.
But we got to see what the one person didn't really know.
Correct.
Right. And that look on that person's face when she found out.
She was like, did he tell you about the story of Fire and Ice? She was like, no. She was like, what?
That look on your face when you know you messed up.
So you go to war, you're killing family members,
and you ain't even got the right information.
You don't even have the correct information.
You out here having dragons chewed in half, and you ain't even got the right information.
You all like taking it back to the 90s. You all up in the Kool-Aid and have no idea what the flavor is.
Man, she ain't even got a cup, to be honest with you. She has no cup. None at all.
Rhaenyra was like, oh yeah, so he told you about the Song of Fire and Ice, like Aegon the Conqueror. She was like, no.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it tonight because we're about to spoil it. No, we're not gonna spoil it. But yeah, no, dude, I was sitting there, I was looking at her face, I was going, oh, you dirty. Ooh.
All she heard was Aegon. She was like, my son. It's like, no, the Conqueror, you idiot.
All she had to do was stop it right there. But now we're gonna get dragon fighting. Clearly we're gonna get dragon fighting because they've been holding the budget back for the first couple episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep, the Dance of the Dragons. That was an awesome moment.
Don't they need a better naming system? Because this isn't the first time. So someone's
you have because you have like there's like 3 or 4 different Aegons, because even after Aegon, this Aegon, you have like a whole bunch more. And yeah, same with like I think there's another Jaehaerys as well.
There's another Jaehaerys, there's another Rhaenyra, there's another Daemon.
Yeah.
And another Aemon.
Yeah, I think there's another Aemon. They just keep recycling names, but I mean honestly, they keep marrying each other and having kids with each other also. So
I do have one question though. How does the whole Black Targaryen thing work?
What do you mean?
The sea snake. The black man with the white of hair.
Yeah. Lord Corlys.
Yes.
What I mean, what do you?
Every time I see him on screen, I go, they didn't really think that one through. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, so technically, the Targaryens are an offshoot of the sea snakes, actually, and because the sea snake, his family, they're older.
Educate me.
than they're older than the Targaryens. That family goes way back. That's why he's the master of the tides, master of Driftmark. That's why they rule the sea, because they go even farther back. It's just that the Targaryens had dragons, kind of accelerated a few things.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, they are actually somewhat, they're related down the line somewhere.
Please tell us who the last Aegon was, because now I'm curious. Dude, I think that
this show's a train wreck.
I think I'm hoping that we get a whole bunch of battles in the next episodes, because I thought this episode was going to be a battle, but clearly they kicked the can down the road. Oh, that's right. That's right. Jon Snow is the last.
That is true. Yeah, he was the last Aegon.
Right. That's right. So they do need a better naming system.
That's when Daenerys was like, when she found out that was her nephew, technically,
yes.
Yeah, biologically speaking, that Jon Snow was her nephew, and they were definitely indulging in Targaryen acts.
Okay, enough of this Game of Thrones stuff. Enough of the Game of Thrones stuff. Oh, real quick before I go, I watched Sharks Under Paris.
I have no idea what that is.
Here's the thing: it was a great movie, and it was a stupid movie all at the same time. The premise of the movie is that there's a shark that comes to Paris, and then things happen, right? Because Paris has big waterways and big rivers and whatnot, and then there are things that happen, and then there are stupid people that make sure that other people die because they're being very stubborn. But it's an amazing and stupid movie all at the same time. If you want to watch a movie that you're yelling at everybody in the movie because they're all stupid, that's the movie to watch.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put that on the list. Hey, man, you know what? On the show notes, you don't have Power on here, man.
Because I haven't seen the last episode.
You haven't seen the latest episode with Dirty Diana?
Listen, man, don't tell me nothing about Tariq right now. I don't want to hear nothing about Power.
All I can say is Tariq is on demon time right now. He is out for everybody.
Okay, I will watch it
tonight.
I will watch it tonight.
You cannot do this.
Oh my gosh! I know you're not talking, Jason. Will you believe that?
No, X-Men 97 was a totally different story. That's different.
7 weeks. I asked Dominique as he watched X-Men 97. This man said, "I'm going to do it, Steve. I'm going to do it for 7 weeks."
But
we got to the episode before the final episode. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna start watching." I'm like, "Start watching."
That's different, man. That's way different.
How is it different?
Now,
How?
Power, you got until Sunday to watch that.
Anyhow,
gosh, like if you would have said you didn't watch House of the Dragon, I would have given you a pass on this, but you would have to watch it by tomorrow.
Okay. Anyhow. All right. So anyhow, I'm not. No, I don't want to hear any. You didn't watch Tariq slander right now. I gotta ask you this question. Here's the content that everybody has come for today. The real content. Mm-hmm. Is your mother-in-law a friend or a foe?
She's a friend for sure.
That makes two of us, my friend.
Yeah, I don't know.
That makes two of us.
I love my mother-in-law.
Ditto. Like, I know mother-in-laws get a bad rap, and some of it sometimes is deserved. But this is our married life segment, by the way. Just ruminating over married life stuff. We figured out, I'm glad your mother-in-law is a friend as well, JJ. We figured out that mother-in-laws are wonderful things. They're absolutely wonderful things, right? I know for me, when I was younger, mother-in-laws, right? They were.
She was the evil wicked witch of West.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say.
They are portrayed as an evil, wicked witch of the West.
No, I was gonna say they're a good barometer of how your wife is gonna look when she gets older. Duh.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I'll be like, you look at the family genetics, look at your mother-in-law, you go, okay, all right.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that. And so, but even beyond that, to have someone that you can partner with to speak, what's the word I'm looking for here? Sense into your spouse is a wonderful thing.
Dude.
Wonderful thing.
So yeah, my mother-in-law and my wife's aunt as well. I always turn them against my wife. It's hilarious.
Well, wait, whoa. You mean turn them against? You have to use their expertise to make the translation, right? Because that's the thing. It's not even really against. It's just they're just saying it in a way that your spouse can understand it, right?
Now I can go in my mother-in-law's room right now and say, I can say my wife ain't make me a plate, and my wife's gonna get her. She's gonna get her up, and she's gonna have her make me a plate.
Oh, so you use them like SEAL Team 6 out this mug.
Believe me, if I have to go tell my mother-in-law and my wife's aunt about it, it's a problem.
I'm gonna tell your mama. Don't tell my mama. I'm telling your mama right now.
Snitching. I got him on speed dial. I'll text him in a second.
Wow, that's funny.
Hey, I'll say, I love my wife. I really do. She's the apple of my eye. She's got my heart. But man, they didn't warn me about her when I got married.
No mother-in-law does.
They just said, "Oh, thank you. That's a weight off my shoulders." Like,
hey, man.
What? I need fair warning that.
Hey, man. My father-in-law, when I first met him, I asked him if I could marry his daughter. And you know what his words are?
I'll pay for it.
No, his words were, his words were, we don't accept returns here, son. I was like, huh?
Your life.
I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, she's yours now, buddy. Oh,
no, he says it. You're just like, I don't know why he said that.
Like, what do you mean we don't accept returns? What does that even mean?
Like, that's weird. Why would he say that? Out of all things,
yeah, my father-in-law was great, but yeah, my mother-in-law is she's special. She's a special, she tries really hard, right? She tries really hard to be involved. Yeah, she's my problem now. And walked up. That's exactly. You know. I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this with my daughter's fiance. Hey
man, it's your problem. Don't call me.
But yeah, man, you gotta. I don't know about you guys.
You gotta die out.
You gotta make your mother-in-law has to be. Well, first of all, there has to be place and space, right? Thinking about this earlier because I saw something and I wrote it down and put it in the show notes. It has to be place and space, right? There has to be space within the relationship, right? For your wife and her mother, for you and your mother-in-law, and for your relationship, and her as mother now, right? Has to be place. Everybody has to have place. There also has to be space, right? Has to be just enough space so that she's involved and knows what's going on, but not too much space that she's got too much information, right? You don't want to saddle her with information that she doesn't need to have, right? You don't need to saddle her with feelings that doesn't need to linger, because unlike the people that are in the relationship that can get over certain things, family members can't. So you gotta really navigate.
You gotta be careful of that. Because once you say something, to at least your family that's not, pleasant or showing your other half in a good light, your family's going to take a certain view, and it's going to be really hard for them to let go of that view because they're in support of you.
Dude, you know what I told someone one time? You're doing adult things with your spouse. That will allow you to forgive. Your family's not. They don't got those drugs in them. They don't have those feelings. All right. So you gotta be really careful how you communicate the things that you're communicating so that you don't, do them a disservice and do your spouse a disservice. And so 100%. You gotta have that place and space. And if you do, I think, over time things can work out, right? So I don't know. Did your mother-in-law like you at first?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I can say that, you know, I've always been good with the in-laws, or, you know, when I'm dating a person, I like to, you know, once you reach a certain point, I do like to meet their people, because I'm somewhat old school. So it's like, I want them to know my face on who, you know, who they're leaving their house with, or, you know, who's picking them up, who they're spending time with. I do think that's very important in a relationship at some point, and I do believe that these kids have gotten away from it. This generation has. So, you know, one thing I want my kids to understand is, you know, especially my sons, like, hey, you need to be a stand-up guy. You need to be clean. You know, you need to take care of yourself, because, you know, you should introduce yourself to their parents at some point, because that is after a while, that will be a concern of theirs. Like, hey, who's this boy you keep leaving with? You know, he never comes in to introduce himself. He doesn't even say hi, nothing.
Yeah,
and that's
very
big
important conversation. Yeah. So
yeah.
Look, have you shown your son the Reggie introduction, the Bad Boys 2?
I have not.
Come on, man. My son turned 13. I was like, come here. I need to sit you down. I need to show you something. I need to show you something right now. I need to show you something.
I want him to come home and say, Dad, I went over to this girl's house.
No, no, you got to prepare the kid for this, man. He got to be cool under pressure. I'm serious. He got to know. He's got to know that this is coming, right? He's got to know, because if he doesn't know and he punks out, then he, you know, you messing up the date by not showing him. Come on, man. You got to prepare the kid.
I think about it. I put it like that. I think about it.
Are you saying that the comedic value is too high for you?
The comedic value is extremely high. Extremely high. Like, I will even go to
that man said chitty chitty bang bang. He's gonna die.
Look, I will go to great lengths to even organize with the young girl's father.
Oh, come on, man.
For me to record that moment, just to look, I walk around my house and I scare my kids. Like, I'll wait like in the closets and stuff, right when they think that they're cool and they just laying down in the bed and nothing's going on. I'll pop out the closet like, hey, what's up? And they're like, why are you in my closet? Like, hey.
You know, that's anxiety inducing, right? Because I used to do that too. And there's part of me that wish that I had not, because it is anxiety producing. Like, first of all,
yes.
Are your kids as clueless around the house as mine are? Because I be walking around the house and I walk up and they swear they never heard me. And I'm like, I'm a very large man. I walk softly, but I'm not silent. I'm not a ninja. So why are you so shocked when you hear me come around, when you see me come around the corner? Like, I can be heard.
Okay. I'm only heard when I want to be.
Same. But most of the time I want to be heard.
No, I walk around the house very extremely quiet, just because I want to observe you in your natural habitat.
You trying to get somebody a heart attack? You're trying to get somebody a heart attack.
Look, my wife has told me plenty of times. She's like, I'm about to put a bell on you or something. I'm like, that's fair.
Exactly. Cleaning firearms on the table, assembling and reassembling. Hey, we just got to make sure it works properly. We got to clean it. We got to make sure that it's in tip-top condition.
No, you got to have them all out. Like, you know, you got your rifles, you got your ARs, you got your handguns. Just like, I'm sorry, this is Tuesday. This is gun cleaning day.
Mr. Howard, is that a bazooka on your wall? I'm glad that you noticed. Yes. Is it functioning? Of course it is. How else am I going to hit a moving vehicle that's trying to get away from my house after it dropped my daughter off after curfew?
You know, shake his hand, put an air tag in his pocket, you know, just making sure.
Dude, I feel old. JJ just said that his daughter brought home someone while he was cleaning his firearms. And I remember when his daughter was barely big enough to walk. So I feel real old. I'm feeling really old right now. And I'm
talking about go ahead. The baby?
Go ahead. Thank you very much.
The baby?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Whether it's the baby or whether it's the middle one, it doesn't matter. Thank you very much.
I remember the baby because he and I always talked, and you know, the baby be in the background, and he'd be talking to her and whatnot, and it's just like, the baby's 20 now. Oh, Jesus.
We gotta change the subject. I'm feeling depressed. We gotta change the subject. I'm feeling depressed. Please. Please. Jeez.
So for context, JJ, Steve, and I, we all used to work at Best Buy. What's that? Almost 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Oh, but yeah, no. Yeah, no.
I don't even know where to go at this point.
I know that just. Whew. You know what? We're at an hour. We can wrap. It's all good. It's all good. That whole. Have you ever been in a situation where you remember something and you realize that the thing that you remember is old, like it's a really old memory, happened a long time ago? That's what just happened. Like we remember someone that was not able to go to school who is now 20, and we were realizing that we're old enough to have seen them in both stages of their lives.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with that one either.
Yeah, it's rough.
Anyhow.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go upstairs and cry. Wish my youth back or something.
I'm gonna go and watch Power. Next week, we'll try to get JJ on. We're gonna try to get JJ on.
Yeah, JJ, we got to get you on the show, man. Not just in the comments.
Yeah, so he can bring us some light and laughter as he is want to do, because he does that a lot. And
before, JJ, next year when GTA comes out, we on it, right?
Why did you do that? There was no reason for you to put all of those numbers in the chat, Jay. There's no reason. Nobody needed that. Nobody needed to realize that they were that old. Okay. Thank you. We appreciate that. Goodness gracious, dude. We are
next year when GTA comes out. Me and JJ will be MIA for a while.
Oh, you know what? I get to set up a racing simulator in my son's room.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Matter of fact, I'll have a picture of it next week because it is dope. Like it's a chair with the pedals, and I don't know how any of it works, but my wife's cousin is he gave it to him, and he's got a computer that's coming and all this good stuff. It's gonna be really cool.
That's gonna be nice.
Yeah. Hopefully I can get out of buying an Xbox because he really wants. Was it Forza?
The PC should be fine.
Yeah. You know what? That's why I keep you around, Dominic. You know all the stuff that I really want to know, but don't have time to remember.
PC should be fine. Just download Steam. You can play any other game. It is what it is.
At any rate, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. It has been wonderful talking about Dominique's Grill and the fact that our mother-in-laws, I don't know, maybe your mother-in-law is cool like ours, and if she is, feel free to put her name in the chat. You can tag her on Facebook if you really want to. You really want to get some brownie points or send her some flowers and whatnot. That'd be really cool. Also, let us know how you feel about House of the Dragon. If you've watched it, I know JJ hasn't watched it, but he'll let us know once he gets around to watching it. And we will catch you guys next week, where we're going to be talking about how we deal with our children's big feelings and their mistakes.
Right back here on Dr. Phil.
Wow. You know what? I don't even like Dr. Phil. He got some proclivities that ain't really, on my level. Like, Oprah really likes him, but that guy's not to be trusted. That was a tangent. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to come back next week. JJ's going to be on here. Hopefully we can get you on here. And we'll see you then.
All right. Later, y'all.